Imagine going from one of the best wingers in the world to becoming the greatest flop of all time. This is the story of Eden Hazard and how his move from the biggest club in the world ruined his life. See, back in his early days, Eden was a special talent and the coaches couldn't get enough of him. After balling at Standard Liège, he earned a move to Lille, and all it took was just a few training sessions to make them go nuts. In his third season at Lille, Hazard became a global sensation, scoring 50 goals and 53 assists in 194 matches, won the French Cup, Ligue 1, and was voted Player of the Year in 2 separate seasons. And by the end of the 2011-2012 season, Hazard knew he had to become one of the greats. He needed to make a step up in his career, but he had one huge problem. All the top clubs in the world were after his signature. Bayern Munich, Barcelona and even PSG. But on decision day, Hazard made a move that changed everything. I will be signing for the Champions League winners, Chelsea. See, Hazard was watching the Champions League final of 2012 from his apartment, and after seeing the miracles Chelsea pulled off to win the competition, he figured the team would be the perfect fit for him. So Hazard signed for Chelsea, and in his first season, he was part of the Chelsea team that won the Europa League, 13 goals and 24 assists in all competitions for Chelsea this season, including an impressive 14 assists in the league. And together with Juan Mata, it was clear Hazard was only just starting to find his rhythm at Chelsea, because in the next season, with Mourinho coming in and Mata being sold to Manchester United, Hazard became the main creative source at the club. And in 2013-14, his impressive tally of 14 goals and 9 assists won him the Premier League Young Player of the Season. He was part of the Belgium team that made it to the World Cup in Brazil later that year, providing 2 assists and helping his country reach the quarter-finals. But it was in 2015 that his potential became a frightening reality, because this season, Hazard went from a promising talent to world class. Jose Mourinho had finally built the perfect team ready to win the league at Chelsea. And with Hazard as the main source, they were unstoppable. They topped the league from match day 1 until the final day and won the whole thing. Hazard's 19 goals and 13 assists were enough to win him both the PFA and Players Player of the Year awards, as well as helping Chelsea win the League Cup. Everyone was expecting Hazard and Chelsea to kick on from 2014-2015, but the next season was one of the worst of his career. Chelsea finished 10th, Mourinho got sacked in December, and they didn't win any trophies. Hazard only scored 4 league goals and 4 assists. The drop-off was huge. But Hazard was determined to prove that this drop-off was only a dip, so he went to the Euros with Belgium, and his performances were spectacular, with goal contributions in every match he played. And he didn't let go of his Euro form, because in 2017, under the new manager Antonio Conte, Hazard sparked into life again. And with 16 goals and 5 assists, he helped Chelsea win the league. But it wasn't all fun for Hazard under Conte, because Conte picked up on something he knew could destroy Hazard's career. He doesn't run a lot, and I'm scared that in the future it might affect him. Still, at the moment it felt like Conte was calling Hazard's bluff, because in 2017-2018, even though Chelsea had dipped a bit and finished 5th, Hazard still managed 12 goals and 4 assists in the league, including the winning goal in the FA Cup final to ensure Chelsea signed off with a trophy. And in the 2018 World Cup, Hazard dazzled so hard, he became a beast. And that's when the big boys came calling. Real Madrid. All through that summer, Real kept making moves for Hazard, but he was turning them down because he still couldn't decide. And after a summer full of temptations, Hazard finally made up his mind to stay at Chelsea for the 2018-19 season. And this was about to be the best season of his life. He ended up with 16 goals and 15 assists in the league, his highest contribution ever, and helped Chelsea win the Europa League by scoring a brace in the final. After that game, Hazard was a bit too emotional, until the Chelsea fans realised why, and they too couldn't stop crying. Yes, I think this will be my last game for Chelsea. That summer, after 392 games with 110 goals and 92 assists for Chelsea, Hazard said goodbye to the bridge, and in a club record €100 million deal, said hello to the Bernabeu, and became the most expensive Galactico of all time. But what Hazard didn't know was that this move would destroy him. His first season as a Galactico was a total bust. The fans waited for him to find his form, but it just wasn't coming. See, as Conte said a few years back, Hazard didn't train much, and now he was in a club full of world-class players. He wasn't the main man anymore, meaning if he wanted the shirt, he had to work hard for it. Hazard only managed 1 league goal and 6 assists all season, and because of injuries, he only played 16 league games. A hairline crack to the foot, hamstring injuries, and bruised ankles meant he missed more than half of the season. He still managed to get a La Liga winners medal, but come 2020-2021, it got even worse. See, Hazard's apartment in Madrid was opposite a pastry shop, and he just couldn't help it. So every day after training, he'd sneak in, grab donuts and bagels, and sneak out. But his bad habits were beginning to catch up with his game, and combined with his poor fitness, Hazard turned up overweight. Zidane didn't even trust him that much anymore, and with the new kid Vinicius coming round the block, Hazard only managed to play 14 league games all season, with 3 goals and 1 assist. By now, the critics were red hot on his tail, and the Madrid fans were running out of patience. Hazard was their record signing, but he couldn't even go a full 90 minutes without getting injured. In 2021-22, Zidane left Madrid, and with the new boss Carlo Ancelotti in charge, Vinicius Jr. took his game to another level and became so good, Hazard couldn't replace him. That season, Hazard for the first time in his career couldn't even score in the league. He did pick up his first Champions League winners medal and the Spanish Super Cup, but by now, he knew his days at Madrid were coming to an end. In 2022-23, it was the same old story. Injuries and poor form, plus unbelievably, Vinicius Jr. got even better, meaning people forgot Hazard was still at the club. Hazard only played 6 games this season, and despite winning the Club World Cup, UEFA Super Cup and the Spanish Cup, Hazard's time at Madrid was over, because in the summer, he and Madrid agreed to terminate his contract, bringing an end to his misery. It should have been different, man. Hazard had all the talent in the world, and in his 7 years at Chelsea, some even thought that after Ronaldo and Messi, Hazard was the best baller on the planet. But because of the laziness, he wasn't prepared to push himself far. He even admitted it. I will never be a true goal scorer. It's not in me. It's mainly mental. I just want to enjoy my game. Even some of his former teammates like John Obi Mikel at Chelsea said the same thing. Hazard is the worst player in training. He doesn't run, tackle, or contribute. But on match days, he can become the best player in the world. The talent wasn't enough, man. Because of the poor form, injuries, and lack of training began to wear on his body. And now, Hazard went from becoming the most expensive Galactico of all time to being a free agent looking for a club. Hopefully he finds happiness soon, or right now. I mean, all he has to do is just hit the subscribe button to the channel just like you did, and he'd definitely have his smile back again.